I want you to come talk, and I want you to talk about the process that it's taking you to develop Bishop Kenny's girls basketball program. And I want you to talk about the invaluable experience that you gain from playing sports. And I take that as the invaluable experience that you gain from being part of something bigger than yourself. And the biggest thing we talked about this year was on the back of some of our t-shirts is we over me. I think genius lies in some simplistic concepts, and I think this is super simple. The idea that you're dedicating yourself to being a part of something bigger than yourself. So Coach, if you can move into the next slide. What I've been trying to do at BK the last 4 years. So a lot of what he wanted me to talk to you about was culture. And he's new to the athletic director position here, and that's what he's trying to grow here at Sacred Heart, is a good culture. And the key, first and foremost, to building a solid culture and one that lasts, is you can't focus on winning. It can't be about winning, right? And so 4 years ago, my first year record, we were 12 and 13. Second year, I think we were 11 and 14. Year 3, we were 18 and 10, and this year we were 29 and 3. But the thing about it is nothing was ever about winning. I grew up being a part of a lot of losing teams, so I know what it takes to lose, okay? And I just was like, what I failed to do as a player, I will not fail to do as a coach. We are going to establish a culture. And I came up with this, and it's hanging in our locker room. Our culture lives in the words we speak and in the company we keep. Culture withstands time, and in time, it will always win. So don't focus on winning. If your heart's in the right place, if you develop a solid foundation, if you can get kids to buying into what you're doing, you're going to get that picture this year. That's me right there. We got the cut down the net, put it around my neck, and my kids surrounding me. Right? That wasn't the goal. Never thought I'd cut down a net in my life. Never thought I'd get to a state championship game. I just know my heart's in the right place daily. If I'm not afraid to fight for my culture, protect my culture, and live that daily, good things are going to happen. Okay? So, moving forward. This is kind of what we developed. We talk about to our kids daily. And this works for us. These three things could be different for your teams. You can use these in your families, in your businesses. What are the three things that you're going to hang your hat on every day? And the first one, we just kind of, at BK, girls basketball, was all about family. We got to be built on a foundation of love. Those kids, they got to know I love them before I can get this close to their face and hold them accountable. So they have to know everything I'm doing is rooted in my love for them and my desire to make them the best they can be. I didn't say when. My job, my purpose, my passion is to impact and serve young people. And so daily we're trying to make them the best they could possibly be. Without that love, I can't get to the accountability piece, which is probably the toughest part. How many of you guys are in 8th grade? Okay, 7th grade? Okay, so in a couple of years, a lot of you guys are going to be going into high school. The big difference is the second piece, right? Accountability. And we talk about accountability as our genuine responsibility to empower each other to be the best version of ourselves. And that's not always pretty. It's not always sugar-coated. If I love you and I've got 5 seconds to communicate something to you on the court, sometimes it's not going to come up. I'm not going to look really great doing it. I might be a little intense. I might get close to your face. But as long as that kid knows I love him, I can hold him accountable. And it's not just my responsibility, it's the player's responsibility as well. A coach-led team is pretty good. A player-led team, that's when greatness happens. And lastly, our last piece we talked about was daily. And I'm speaking to you guys right now. This is mainly what I'm hearing for you. And discipline. Okay, some days it's not enough to just work on the days you feel like it, right? So we talk to our kids about discipline. But the 25 kids in our program, they're different because daily, their discipline on the court, in the classroom, and in their personal lives separates us from the average. And that's one of my biggest messages tonight is to you guys, you got to figure out what you want. For me, I don't want to be average. I don't ever want someone to describe me as average. And I'm not not talking about the grade that you get on paper. I'm just talking about we all get one chance, right? We get one life. So for me, and what I'm trying to tell our girls, is why not be the best you could possibly be? I'm here because I have a desire to instill in you these three things. These three things that I think are vital to not only being a good athlete, because maybe you don't go on to play high school sports, but maybe you're really passionate about digital technology or piano, or maybe you're good at writing or singing. These three things you can take into all things that you're doing. And I think mom and dad, maybe you guys are business owners, or you could take these things into your work life as well, into your families. So the big three, in business school, they teach us a couple things about speaking. I was a business major at Flagler. One is be effective but brief. Two, be relatable. It's vital to staying relevant. And three, the third thing, is speak in threes. Entitlement versus investment. Okay? And this is a big one for me. And kind of what we had to instill when I took over the program 4 years ago. Teams of entitlement never win titles. One of my favorite quotes, Kevin Easton, is a former NBA guy. Teams of entitlement never win titles. And so what's entitlement? Thinking that you deserve something, that something should be given to you. And sometimes it's the most talented players that feel the most entitled. So what separates the talent from the talented, there's two letters, E and D. Talent, talented. E and D stands for extra dimension. And that's where investment comes in. Always choose investment. Entitlement, thinking that things should happen for you without putting in the work, it's going to lead you down a path of a lot of failure. Okay, so that's just one huge thing. The second thing, what's best for me isn't always what's best for the team. What's best for the team isn't always what's best for me. This year at BK, we had 3 seniors. The time of the last 10 games, not one of the seniors was a starter. One of them was our captain. She's the heart of the team, and she's the reason we were able to turn the program around. Right? So entitlement. I'm in 8th grade. I should be starting. I've been here 3 years. I've been doing it. But this 5th grader came in, and she's really good, and she's starting over me. That's entitlement. Right? So what was great for us this year is that we had 3 seniors that chose the team before themselves. I swear that's the reason we were 29-3. Our captain, the heart of our team, started last year, and about 15 games in, she came to me and she said, Coach, you and I both know Rachel should be starting over me. And I know you have enough loyalty and you want to protect your seniors, but I'm here to tell you that myself or my family is going to care if I don't start. Gosh, can I have like 10 of you? Right? And so what's best for the team isn't always what's going to be best for you. Lastly, right here, and I'll leave it at that. Change your sense of entitlement to the value of investment. Entitlement brings a lot of instant gratification, which in this world we're moving so fast, right? Things are moving so fast. Kids, you have cell phones, iPhones, Snapchat, everything is like bam, 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 bam. You know, when you don't get something when you want it, we're frustrated. Investment, man, that takes time. Do you know that our girls basketball team at Bishop Kenny hadn't been in the Final Four in 27 years? 27 years. So for 27 years, we had a lot of teams that probably chose entitlement instead of investment. And that's what was different about this group. It could be another 27 years before we get back, too, if we don't value investment. And what makes investment so hard? Point number 2. Moving along, we're almost done. Investment requires you to have an unwavering work ethic. Okay? You'll only go as far as your work ethic allows. And that's the biggest thing for me that I truly believe in. I'm a young professional, so I'm 28, so I'm trying to prove my worth, and the one thing I hang my hat on every day is I'm going to be the hardest worker in any room I walk into. I didn't say I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be the most successful, I'm going to make the most money. No, I simply said I'm going to be the hardest worker in any room I walk into. And maybe I'm not, Maybe someone next to me is working harder than me, but in my mind, I want to try to be that. Right? Why? One person in pursuit of excellence raises the bar of everyone around them. I'm not working hard. Obviously, I have goals. I have individual goals. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I want to receive, you're not human if you don't want to be appreciated. I want, awards feel nice. Coach of the Year, they feel nice. MVP, they feel nice, yeah, but that's not what drives you, right? So I challenge you guys to be the hardest worker in your classroom that you walk in tomorrow. The next practice you're in, be the hardest worker, right? And when they get into the car after a game, Mom, Dad, it's not, gosh, you really turned the ball over a lot. Coach should have played you more. You're better than Sally. You're better than Jimmy. No, it should be. Do you feel like you were the hardest worker tonight? And if I'm a mom, I'm not a parent, but if and one day I do have children, that's something that I want to ask my kid every day. Were you the hardest worker today? And the answer is either yes or no. And if it's no, try harder tomorrow. Your work ethic must be driven by the unshakable belief in your ability to achieve the impossible. So with investment, when you truly care about something, you're going to face a lot of adversity. You're going to face a lot of discomfort. Anything worth having comes with a lot of failure. You talk about like a Michael Jordan, the quote of, missed 1,000 shots in my career, 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and miss. I've failed over and over in my life, and that is why I succeed. All these stories that you read about, there's going to be a lot of discomfort. There's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of been over at the baseline, I can't run another, right? But your ability to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations allows you to grow. Sometimes I get frustrated with my players. We have a kid that comes in and shoots 8 threes in a game and makes 1. And she's got this look of pure frustration. And I'm like, no, don't be frustrated. Let's talk about your week. How many times did you get in the gym? You took 8 threes and you expected to make over half of them. Times 8 by 100. That's how many shots you should have taken this week. Don't be frustrated with yourself when you haven't put in the work to get what you want. And that's one of the biggest things that we taught our kids this year. So my last point is that in success, we all want to be successful. It doesn't come without sacrifice, without setbacks, or without selflessness. First quote, everyone wants to be great until it's time to do what greatness requires. So for 27 years, we didn't make the Final Four. And that's what we kind of preach to our kids. When you want to achieve something abnormal, it requires that you match that dream with abnormal action. 6 a.m. lifts, saying no to maybe a birthday party because you have basketball practice. At the high school level, keeping them in on a Friday night because we got Saturday morning practice. Little things that you do to separate yourself. Secondly, some of the greatest success stories are people turning adversity into victory. And I think about Michael Jordan being cut from his middle school team or JV team, and now he's one of the best basketball players considered of all time. Steph Curry. How many of you guys like Steph Curry? Anybody? Okay. Guy didn't have one Power 5 offer. He went to Davidson. He had 6 or 7 schools say no to him. He was too small. He was too slow. He'd never make it in the NBA. Well, an NBA analyst his first year, he'll never amount to anything. 3 championships later, 2 MVPs later, he's on the verge of winning a 3rd straight championship, would make his 4th. That's a success story of turning adversity into victory. And here's one of my most passionate things, is you have to understand the selfless piece is connected with that last quote. You win in life with people. Pat Summitt, head coach at Tennessee, she died 4 years ago, all-timer. Probably one of my biggest motivations. If you don't know her, you should Google her. She said this, you win in life with people. And I've learned so much, because I'm not too far away from your age. I mean, 28, I know I look like 15, so I think that I kind of understand some of the stuff you're going through with friends, and bullying, and all the things that you're exposed to with that cell phone and social media. And my biggest piece of advice is choose your friends wisely, right? My mom always told me, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And my biggest thing, especially you guys going into high school, wherever you're going, there's distractions everywhere. There's people trying to bring you down. It doesn't matter if you have one friend or 5. You got one, you got a lot. And so you win in life with people. I didn't go 29-3 because of me. I had 3 amazing assistants. We had an incredible support system in our parents. It's 2019, and where parents are all over coaches. Not one complaint in the last 2 years. Not one complaint about those 3 seniors not playing a lot. Not one complaint from my kids. That's like crazy when you think about what you read online and how coaches are leaving the sport because parents sometimes are being too tough. Right? And so I'm so lucky to be surrounded by such wonderful people in my personal life and in my professional life. So in closing, I got this slide, and you don't choose your passion, it chooses you. So my biggest thing to you guys is find what you're passionate about and pursue it. Because we need more people pursuing what they're passionate about. If we do that, we're going to have a much better place. And you've got to be fearless. I always say I'm unapologetically passionate. I can't tell you how many times I make people uncomfortable. Just because I'm pursuing something great. Not intentionally. And I'm not trying to make others feel bad for not working this hard. But my biggest piece is pursue your passions. And as long as they're good things, parents let them pursue them. What if we have the next Beyonce here? What if we have the next Steph Curry? What if we have the next athletic director of Sacred Heart? Or the next teacher of the year? Or heck, the next president? Pursue what you're passionate about. That's where I'm hoping that I have a childlike mindset and that I'm constantly going to try to pursue what I'm passionate about. And my final piece of advice, I was in a hotel lobby 6 years ago. It was my first year at UNF. And I ran into this coach. She was retiring. She was about 72. And she wrote on a note card, Charlie, the path to success is a narrow one, and it's a daily choice. That's hanging in my office. It's something I see every day. And that's just my piece of advice to everybody in this room, is it's a daily choice to get up and be positive, be passionate, and live with purpose. I congratulate you on such a wonderful year. I think this place is awesome. I want to learn more about Sacred Heart. It took me 45 minutes to get here. I didn't know how far away it was. But I think it's a beautiful place, and you've got a great leader. And I just applaud you for all the sacrifice that you guys made this year. Thank you all for